Hi, my name is David Cantliff and I'm the president of Bottom Line Advantage. The topic of this brief video is, why are most companies overpaying their copy, print, and fax vendors? The two short answers are, first, they don't know that they are overpaying, and second, they don't have industry insider knowledge to know by how much. Let me explain by sharing the typical methods used by companies to compare their current costs. The first is to negotiate with a trusted vendor. The second, some type of request for proposal, also known as a RFP. Take a look at the graph and notice the first three price descriptions: suggested retail price, street price, and competitive bid price. By negotiating with a trusted vendor, you'll achieve some savings, usually close to a street price. The disadvantage? Not knowing what other vendors in your market will offer. By using a RFP, you'll usually achieve close to or at competitive bid price. The disadvantage here is vendors keep tabs on their bid responses as well as other competitors' responses. You'll usually receive what vendors are willing to offer and not what they're capable of offering. Whether you use a negotiation or RFP process, after receiving proposed pricing, you'll compare it to the pricing of your current agreement, and sometimes even peer company agreements. Now, from this evaluation, you can tell if you're making progress, but you still don't know what level of savings are possible. Imagine two expert archers. Both have the same tools and skills. The only difference is that one is blindfolded so they can't see the target. Only the archer that knows where the target is can hit it. Notice on the graph the gray area between the competitive bid price and the attainable price. This represents the hard dollars you're overpaying to your vendor over your lease term or equipment life cycle. I've also seen some agreements approach cost of goods, just as car dealers can sell cars at invoice cost, and do so profitably because of manufacturer incentives and other profit centers. I should mention, I'm assuming with the cost reduction we're discussing, you are documenting and requesting at least the same levels of vendor support. Let me share a story about a Chicago company to illustrate what frequently happens when companies implement an internal cost reduction project. We first met with a VP in charge of the department that managed their copier spend. When we asked about their goals, they said that vendor support was okay, they really just wanted to lower costs. When we asked by how much, their answer was $130,000. We talked a little more and they gave us some data so that we could evaluate that figure. They asked us to call back in 1 week. And when we talked again in a week, he shared with us that his team had convinced him in the interim that they could achieve the same level or better savings that we could. Now, they did produce $127,000 in gross savings, and of course this is minus their labor and opportunity costs. Now, when they compared their results to previous agreements and a couple of peer companies, they felt they had reduced costs to the maximum possible amount. What they didn't realize is that they could have reduced their costs by another $224,000, as well as enhancing vendor support. The value of insider knowledge is already knowing where your target is before you start, and also knowing once you've achieved it. Our process and communications are designed to speak the industry's language. Vendors are alerted that they are speaking with a peer and respond accordingly. Basically, it's knowing what to ask and how to ask it. And with every completed project, our data and experience is updated. So in this case, instead of only saving $127,000, the Chicago company could have achieved a $351,000 hard dollar savings. Because the copy, print, and fax industry has restricted information flow outside of its inner circle, this scenario is repeated over and over every day across the U.S. It's a classic case of not knowing what you don't know. For more information, you can watch a video titled How to Stop Overpaying Your Copy, Print, and Fax Vendor, or register for a 15-minute webinar at www.bottomlineadv.com. If you have questions, send us an email to help@bottomlineadv.com or call us 1-800-550-4435 extension 610. Thanks for watching.